If gas starts leaking in your kitchen right now, do you know what to do? Or would you just run? Because most people believe that running is the best thing to do or the safest thing. Omo, better you save your life. Oh. But panic has destroyed many homes, many buildings than fire itself. This is not a motivational video. This is not a story time. This is information that can save your life, especially this December when a lot of people will be in the kitchen, when a lot of cookings, a lot of things will be happening behind the scene in the kitchen. When people are cooking, frying, boiling, warming this December. A few years ago, gas started leaking in my house. No, not my house exactly. My sister's house. My sister literally at the time just gave birth to her third baby. And we all went to her house, including my mom, to go do omogo, to look after her, look after the baby. So while me and my sister was in the living room gisting and breastfeeding, because I too had risk of giving birth to my son 2 months prior to hers. So we were all in the living room breastfeeding while the other of our kids were in the bedroom playing. But my mom was in the kitchen cooking something. So while she was cooking with this cooking gas, and then she didn't know there was a leakage in the gas. My sister didn't know either. And then the gas started leaking. So the fire from the part where she was cooking connected to the one that was leaking, and immediately there was fire flames like, and immediately my mom panicked. I think she, like out of fear, she kicked down what she was cooking. She ran out. She screamed, "Everybody run, run, run!" And I carried my son. I ran out to find out what was happening, including my sister, and we realized that there was fire, that was burning in flames and everything. And then immediately, because the way my mom was shouting, my sister's neighbor was downstairs, ran up, and they said, "Okay, let's pour water." I hear water. They started pouring water on the gas, and nothing was happening. The fire was going up higher and higher and higher. And at this point, our children have all run downstairs. My sister told her I carried the baby, gone. My mom carried the baby away. They went downstairs. And then just as I was about running myself, okay, to run downstairs, and I don't know, I remembered one video I watched on Facebook, I don't know, on any of the social media, where I heard that you could use damp clothes to stop that kind of fire. And I don't know, the thing just came to my mind immediately. And I ran back, I took some clothes there, I poured water on them, and then I spread it on top of the gas. And just immediately the fire went out. Yes, the gas was still leaking. Like I could still hear the hissing sound of the gas. So I turned off the part where you could turn on to be able to start cooking. I turned it off. The only part that was not leaking was the place that had leakage. So I carried it downstairs. Now note, everyone screamed, everyone shouted. But the fire hadn't really escalated yet. And what happened next, like I just told you, is one of the reasons why that house is still standing. Because I bet you the fire could have connected cotton, connected plates, connected this one, and the whole house would have been in flames. And you know the most funny thing, or do I say shocking thing, was that yes, she was living on the last floor, and that last floor it wasn't decked. It's not like it was floored, so it was wood. So it wouldn't have, it would take nothing for it to just enter into the ceiling, and before you know it, the whole house is on fire. But that little act of thinking saved the day. So please don't skip this video because you might not need it today, but there's no telling when you might need it. That little information that I got somehow, somewhere was what saved today. Now, listen, from now to New Year, kitchen are the worst places to be in right now, currently. Gas cylinders, open flames, hot oil, heat, all in one place. Many of us are not taught fire safeties or things we can do when there's a fire outbreak. We were not taught. We just entered kitchen like that and started cooking. We don't know any of those things. We don't know whether there are things we should do, things we shouldn't do. We don't know the things that could trigger fire, the things that could calm it down. We don't know how fire thinks. We don't know how fire works. Nobody taught us, so it's not our fault. So when things go wrong, the next thing we do is run. We disappear. And not just do we disappear, we scream, causing panic, causing confusion, and we run. And sometimes we don't even run in the right direction because we are no longer thinking at this point. But fire safety teaches us one thing first: understanding before action. We have to understand what caused the fire, why it is going on, what is happening. When we understand these things, we'll know what actions to take. I am not here to teach you how to fight fire. I am here to help you understand how fire works, how fire behaves, sorry, so that you don't make deadly mistakes, so that you don't panic. Okay? Now, let me tell you something. Fire needs three things to escalate, to explode, to become dangerous, to become havoc, to become hadacious. I mean, what's the English word? What are these three things that fire needs? It needs oxygen, it needs heat, and it needs fuel, oil, gas. That's what fire needs. If fire gets these three things, or more, nothing you want a fire. Nothing. You get spent tire, fire no go listen. Now, if you remove just one, let's say you take out oxygen, fire will reduce or even die off. It cannot work. It needs oxygen. The same way humans, people need oxygen. That's how fire needs oxygen. If you remove heat, if you remove gas, fire will die off because there's nothing fueling it again. So this is why panic can make small thing worse, small fire worse. Panic can make fire, small chunk fire that's not doing anything to just get worse. Panic, very, very dangerous something. Now, running around, flapping your hands, opening doors, shouting and screaming will not calm the fire down. Instead, it will fuel it. Feeding the fire oxygen. Imagine that fire is inside here. These whole windows are blocked. You understand? And closed. The doors are closed. And fire is here. Because there's no oxygen, it cannot operate. It will reduce. It will be reducing because there's no oxygen fueling it. But the minute you open the door out of fear and panic and you shout, hey, you open the windows thinking that it's air that's going to you're fueling the fire. If you're giving it the oxygen that it needs and it's just going to escalate more and more. Let's talk about gas leaks. There are some warning signs that people ignore, which are very, very dangerous. A strong gas smell, a hissing sound, a weak or unstable flame, sudden headaches and dizziness. Okay, you know what? Let me just break it down small, small. People tend to neglect when they perceive gas. There are times when you stay in the house like this and you're like, ah, this is not gas. You don't just overlook it. You stand up to go and check. But sometimes you're in the house and you're hearing a hissing sound, and you just think, okay, children are playing outside. You're supposed to go and check to be sure it's not something serious. All of a sudden, you're feeling headache and dizziness. It probably means you've inhaled a lot of gas. You need to go out, step out and take in oxygen and then check where it's coming from, what is causing it. If gas is leaking, do not do these things. If you're in your house now and immediately you're hearing the gas is leaking, you're perceiving it, and you rush off to the kitchen to go check, and it's not time for you to on the light to see whether it's leaking through. Because a little spark can worsen anything, everything. So if gas is leaking, please do not switch on lights, bulb, on or off. Please, we don't want that spark. Do not light matchstick. Don't go. This is not time for you to light matches to check. Do not use your phone close to the leak. Okay, it's like this gas is leaking. No, let me check. You on your touch and use your phone in the touch phone close to the gas. It's very dangerous because one tiny spark, I'm telling you, one light, tiny, small, single spark can light up the whole house. Because at this point, there is a gas leakage and it has saturated the whole house. So one pam, it will blow up in your face. It doesn't even need to come from the part where the gas cylinder is. It could blow up from anywhere because gas has already saturated the whole house. Now, listen, let me tell you, screaming and running blindly does not equal safety. It doesn't mean that you're trying to be safe. It doesn't mean that, hey, you're protecting yourself. You have to understand the fire and understand the next thing to do, the next line of action. Remember the story I told you? My mom panicked. Remember the story I told you? My mom panicked and everybody started running header skater. And then I used that damn cloth to cover it. And then the gas went off. I took the gas downstairs. It sounds very easy, but let me tell you, that action might not work. Well, am I saying might? Will not work in every situation. Don't think that is every situation that deserve cold, damp clothes or watery clothes to PM everything for. No. The lesson is not to be brave because that day I wasn't trying to be brave. If for anything, I was even trying to protect my sister's properties because if everything goes down in flames now, yay. By the time we don't rebuild house for landlord finish. So it's not about bravery. It's not about being a hero. It's about safety. And if you think you cannot handle it, you cannot run. If the fire is small and not hasn't escalated, yeah, you can think of how to control it, and how to put it out and all that stuff. But if the fire is spreading, the gas is hissing, and the fire is this is not time to be a hero. This is not time to think. This is a time for you to run. If I let the thinking be your leg running, you understand? And please, you still have to think while you're running because most people they don't think when panic sets in. They just start running, their brain is no longer working, they now feel like walking zombie, they just no. You have to think even while you're running because most people, let me give you a scenario. There are two doors here in my room now. One is the one that leads outside and one leads to the bathroom. Some people, because of panic and fear, fire could be burning here now and they boom, look at fire, oh, and they run. They are no longer thinking. Open the right door, the one that leads out. No, they open the bathroom door and run into the bathroom and close the bathroom door and hide there because they are no longer doing what they are no longer thinking because they're having panic attack. So this is a time for you to think, even though you're running. Run through the right door, through the safest exit, okay? The safest or nearest exit. Bolt, Usain Bolt, run away. Your life is worth more than any property. So run. Now, why do every home needs this knowledge? Why is this knowledge important? Why is it that everybody needs this knowledge? Everybody needs to watch this video. That's because most gas accident doesn't happen because the people are careless. No, almost majority of the time is not carelessness. They happen because the person has started panicking. He's no longer thinking. Hey, whoa, see fire. Oh. So I'd like to end this video and I'd like to say that not every fire that can be controlled. It's not every fire. So you don't watch this video and think you have to be a hero and you have to put out that fire. It's not every situation that is safe. But panic is what turns small problems into bigger problems. Fire safety training doesn't exist because people want to be hero. Instead, it teaches them to think before they act, or think and act at the same time. If this video helps just one person put out a fire this period, to be honest, it has accomplished this purpose. Okay, because I thought of content I could make this period that could be helpful, that could help one or two persons. And to be honest, this came to my mind. So yeah, so if it helps one person put out the fire or save a life, save a home, save a house, save a building, to be honest, it has achieved this purpose. Please don't keep this to yourself. Share this video to that your WhatsApp family, WhatsApp group. Share it to your friends and family so they can stay guard this period of heavy cooking. It's not like we don't cook other days, but this period is more serious and severe. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'll see you in my next video. Until then, peace.